And so we take these cubes, all 162 per tray, and we move them to the back. And when we do, we take these cubes out, pop them all out, and then one by one, we transfer them into these beds or these blank boards that we have over there.
Oh, I see.
And it fits perfectly in there.
Oh, wow.
So on the other side of things, when we're ready to harvest, we'll actually take this entire tray out.
Okay.
We'll take this entire tray and we'll actually walk this tray over to our clean station. We'll completely wipe out the tray by harvesting as simply as pulling out a head of lettuce like that.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
take a few of the bad leaves that might be there, and then we'll wrap these roots around. This gives a shelf life of about 3 weeks in your refrigerator.
Oh, okay.
So for a consumer, when we sell to the farmer's market, it's a really great product. For our chefs, it's just a really
So
fresh
usually
product.
you wrap it in the bags, individual wraps.
And I'll show you what we do, but we take all of these and wrap them up, and then we wash them, and then dry them, and then pack them into a boxes. It's as simple as
So
plugging them
this is
into these
lettuce?
at a very
This is
small
lettuce.
age.
Yeah, it's a lettuce. All different kinds. There are variety of lettuce they're making. Special restaurants ordering like some of the colorful ones. The chef loves the colorful ones, right?
Exactly, and y'all
Because-
see a mix that we do, and they really love that. But when we put those boards in, we use water as our conveyor belt, so we'll put them in on that side, and we'll stuff this entire way.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
as easy as pushing the entire row with
Oh,
one
okay.
finger.
Wow.
So we push everything this way, and it's easy for inventory because we take tally of how many we take out on this side. That means that is the amount that we need to pull in.
Correct.
I see.
The amount that we put in is the amount that we need to seed. So everything is just pushing that process down the line.
This whole cycle.
Very
yeah.
simple. Doesn't take a lot of systematic math to do.
Huh? So? It grows because the root grows very big, in a reality versus growing in the farm. The water gives more room or what?
It gives complete access to nutrients. So in soil, there's pockets of nutrients, there's pockets of inert material. It means no nutrients. There's pocket of air. There's things in there that are it's not a complete consistency of nutrients. In here, it's a complete consistency of nutrients, giving full access to those plants. That's why we can grow a head of lettuce in about 6 weeks, 2 weeks in germination, and only 4 weeks in that raft bed.
2 weeks in germination.
Yeah,
And 4
yeah.
weeks on this
4
bag.
weeks on the bed.
And
And
so
LED?
whatever rafts...
LED?
LED, they just keep 1 week. 1 week outside, 1 week LED, and rest of the 4 week goes on
It's
this.
usually only a few days in non-LED and then 2 weeks in LED.
Oh, okay.
So once they see the plant coming out, as soon as it comes out, they just put it on the LED.
Yep.
It grows faster.
So if we
Right.
had more LED, they wouldn't even sit on the deck. When we
Yeah.
pull them out of the office, they would go directly in there.
Yep.
So this is what we package in our products.
How many count?
There's 28 in each one of these boxes.
28.
28.
Does it fit?
Yep.
Wow.
And so
I'm surprised.
each one of these has their root
So you're
structure
taking the
still
smaller
attached.
heads and larger heads, right?
We keep all of our heads consistent. So this is the size that we try and pull them out every week.
Oh, really?
So they never get bigger, never
is
get
this?
smaller.
So
This one?
This one's gonna be that red fire that was right over there. This one's really nice and crunchy.
yeah, these
it
are for
gives some
salads. It's a perfect one.
Yep.
Like mixed greens. You
Oh.
see the mixed green bags in the Sprout or somewhere?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is mixed greens.
And this
so
one?
all of them they do cut it like a small different things and they mix it in the bags. You're not doing any production work here at all?
Nope.
No.
We allow all of that to be done by our chefs at the restaurants.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people use it for different things, so they'll use these 3 sometimes for salads, and then they might use these for sandwiches, or maybe even like a butterhead salad on its own.
Right.
So it's up to them to really decide. Also, it gives the freshness. If we were to process this whole thing, the shelf life would be considerably cut. Here, these boxes can sit in the chef's freezer for 3 weeks if they didn't need
It'll
them.
be straight fresh. Yeah.
But they usually run through them really quickly.
And how about the wholesale cost of it, kind of wholesale selling cost to the
So
to the end users, kind of that way?
Each
to the
head
restaurants.
costs a wholesaler about $1.20. We sell this case for $35 at the cheapest level.
Oh, okay.
Are they here? You want to send them in? That's fine.
Another group.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
we won't retract too much. We haven't
I
gotten
understand. Yeah, we didn't go too far yet. I don't mind listening twice.
and more people gives more of a
Yes.
chance for great questions. So
Yes.
That's true.
So those head prices are around $1.20 to our cheapest level, but at our farmers market, we'll get anywhere from $3 to $3.50 a head.
Right.
And so we can
Just
bring
because it's a fresh and organic.
and yes, because it's fresh, organic, but it's also a local product that no one really can grow in 9 out of the 12 months of the year in
True.
Houston.
True.
And so for
That's
a long
the benefit,
time,
main benefit.
for a long time, we can just go to the markets and every week we have a consistent sell. We'll probably sell only 10 cases, but each case, instead of $35, is now maybe $90.
But do you change prices, your prices at all? I mean, you do changes or you keep consistent supply
Just-
to the restaurants?
Just the change in price goes with our amount of volume that we're selling. So we're really trying to go as low as 35, but nothing lower. And then we can go as high as 48 to our restaurants that we have to deliver ourselves. Hi there.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah,
Good.
we
I'm Matt
just-
Bro. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Kanu, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You didn't
Rich,
miss much,
nice to meet
so
you.
you guys
Nice to
can
meet
you.
jump
Just
right
starting
on
soon.
in.
Okay, perfect.
Welcome.
That's my brother.
All right, great. So
Where you from?
Burundi, West Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Visiting here or just?
No, I live here now.
Where?
I live
Where here?
Holland.
Oh, okay.
nice.
Yes.
How about you guys?
We are from Dallas.
Dallas?
Dallas,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
But originally where?
I'm originally from India.
India. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I checked your website and I loved it.
Cool.
I'm very interested in learning.
Yeah, same here.
Yes, I feel like it's the best thing,
Yeah,
that there is
it's
now.
the future of production for sure for
Exactly.
food industry. So you guys didn't miss much. What I was describing to them is we're in about,
Can I report it?
of course,
Oh, perfect.
we're in about 12,000 square feet, and that's a quarter of 1 acre. And out of that quarter of an acre, we're growing about 7,000 heads of lettuce per week out of the system consistently year round. We're using aquaponic growing techniques to utilize that, but also this controlled environment greenhouse to help us maintain the temperature, keep bugs and pests out, and really kind of let the plants do their own thing in here without any interruption from pesticides, fertilizers, or chemicals. We really use none of those to stabilize the system. We just rely on the theory of aquaponics, two relationships between the aquaculture side and then our hydroponic side, which we'll get into right now. So
How much temperature you maintain here?
we try and get it no higher than 90 degrees.
Okay.
And we never have a problem on the other side of things. So it never gets too cold in Texas to really get a
that's
problem.
the good part of it. But what is the temperature we have to keep it for the lettuce right now? As example, let's say we were up north in Oklahoma border, as example.
Mhm.
So there is a cold happens, cold season starts around January, as example. So what temperature we have to keep it in the consistency?
It's going to be more of temperature around 65. You can keep it, and that's the cold side. That's without using any heat. You really don't want the water to get below 55 because that will interrupt the fish's health. So that's really the only part. Lettuce likes the colder weather.
Right.
So it might not grow as fast, but it will grow really dense. It
Right.
likes the nice.
It goes like, as
exactly.
example, the vertical part of it, like, if you do it in a AC
warehouse.
controlled in
Uh-huh.
a controlled environment, then it grows very fast.
And if you're in a controlled environment like that, you're really looking to get around 72 degrees.
Right.
And that will be a consistency. And that's really what we try and do in the winter times. We'll keep this place around 70 degrees.
And what is the fish temperature part of it? What do they like?
We don't like to get them below 55, but anything above that, they're fine. And they'll thrive in the summer because they're actually a African fish that likes the hotter
What else? You have
temperature.
tilapias?
They're from the Nile River actually originally, and so they're naturally schooling fish as well. And that allows us to stock these tanks in a very dense amount of tilapia so they can swim and not be stressed out by being so tightly packed in there, because they feel a lot stronger as a whole when they're close together. Like in the Nile River, there's a lot of predators, so being schooling fish, they aren't as susceptible of prey. So getting back to the aquaponics, we have two ecosystems we're maintaining: our aquaculture side and our hydroponic side. So the definition of aquaponics is the relationship between those two. The definition of aquaculture is raising fish in a controlled environment. And the definition of hydroponics is simply growing